If you're looking for a quick loan from 1,000 up to 5,000 with no credit check, I'm gonna show you some of the best places you should look. Now, the first one is U.S. Bank. Yes, U.S. Bank. For those of you that are a member, you may know about this or you may not. But when you log into your U.S. Bank checking account, you should be able to see it either on your phone or online. It's a simple loan, right? Now, the thing about it, as you can see, they offer loans in $100 increments. All right. And so it goes up to $1,000. All right. But here's the thing about it, you do need to know about this loan. Most of the time, you have to have been in good standing for the past 1 year. Okay. So if you've been in good standing for the past 1 year, and they'll actually give you this here loan with no credit check. All right. Now, I want to talk about another bank before we get to the other lenders, and that's Wells Fargo. Some of you all may be members of with Wells Fargo. They do offer a no credit check loan, but the thing about it, it only goes up to $500. As you can see here, $250 to $500. Flat rate, 250, they're going to charge you $12. The $500, they're going to charge you $20. Okay, but Wells Fargo is an option if you are a member and you have bad credit. All right. Now, that being said, let's talk about some real lenders when you have bad credit, and that's Explore Credit. Okay, and so Explore Credit, they go from 250 up to 2,000. But the interesting thing about this, they are a tribal lender. And so what that means is that the interest rates are definitely going to be much higher. However, they don't solely focus on the credit score. Their main focus, do you have the availability to pay back the loan? So the main availability, if you have income of $1,000 a month after taxes, then you may be able to qualify for this here loan. All right. So that's the thing about it. I like tribal lenders, especially when you have really, really bad credit, but you have a good income. Because even like with banks, you can have a 800 credit score, but if you have a high debt to income ratio, they will deny you, right? And that's not fair. The thing about it, you work hard on your credit, is just sometimes you may overextend yourself. But Explore Credit, they go up to $2,000. All right. Then you have another lender Platform. This is big buck loans. It's a lender platform. And as you can see, they go from 100 up to 5,000. All credit scores are welcome. All right. And you can actually get approved within 15 minutes. Now, please keep in mind, with like these platforms like this, they usually are using high interest rate lenders, mostly your tribal lenders, in order to get you approved and stuff like that. But when you have bad credit and you can't go to the bank, or you have a high debt to income ratio and you can't go to the bank, this is definitely one of those places you can actually turn to see if they're able to loan you money. Now, the next lender is Giggle Finance. So if you guys are an entrepreneur, okay, but you have bad credit, but you can show proof that you have income, then Giggle Finance is definitely the place that you want to take a look. And because you can see here, they offer the loans up to $5,000 as well. Now, let's look at some of their criteria. No credit requirement. That backs up what I just said. Plus, they give you up to $5,000, no hidden fees. Now, here's the thing about it. If you fit into one of these categories, either one of these categories, they are willing to work with you. And so one of the things that I like about them, even if you are in the MLM market, they are willing to work with you. Okay, so that's the good thing about Giggle Finance. Now, the main criteria, you have to have been in the gig economy for at least 90 days. Okay, that's one of their biggest criteria. Now, the minimum income is usually between 1,200 to 1,500 in order to get approved. All right, and so, some people wonder if their information is secure. Of course, it's secure or whatever. But one of the things I want to touch on, so you guys can know, like with these lenders, with the exception of the banks that I was telling you about, with these here other lenders like tribal lenders and stuff, just keep in mind, they're not going to deny you because of the credit score. They may deny you because you may not have an accurate address that's on file that may not be matching up with the third-party financial credit bureaus. And so what I mean by that is I tell people that, like Teletrack, it's owned by Equifax. So if you ever taken out a loan online, this place will have your data and they sell it to those tribal lenders, right? And yes, you can get your report, and so you can see exactly what's on your financial report. So these here lenders, they don't go to your major credit bureaus to actually see what's going on to put a hard inquiry. They use these third party. Another third party they'll use, like LexisNexis. Now, like I always tell you with LexisNexis, because the majority of the time when you're trying to dispute any negative items on your credit, LexisNexis is the one that's verifying that information with the major credit bureaus. Okay, so what you would have to do is just clean up the old addresses, and that will help you clean up some of the negative items off of your credit as well. Okay, so they use LexisNexis as well. Then they also use FactorTrust. Now, FactorTrust, it is a TransUnion, but as you can see, you can get your credit report, you can do a fraud alert, pre-screen opt-out, security freeze, and you can dispute. So yes, you are entitled to get these financial credit bureaus to see what's going on your financial file. Like I said, the application that you put in, application that you put in, the address may not be matching what's in these here credit files, okay? And that can get you denied, and it has nothing to do with the credit. So just keep that in mind. Then you also have Clarity. Now, Clarity, as you can see, is owned by Experian. All right, and it's the same thing. You get your Clarity report, you can see your credit score, your fraud alert. This credit score is your financial credit score. Okay, so that way you are aware of that. So I wanted to just bring this to your attention. Now, there's something else I always tell people. Look, before you go and apply for these high interest rate loans, if you can avoid it, I would tell you to go to your HR department and request this here W-4 form. This would allow you to file exempt so they can stop taking federal taxes out of your check. That way you can bring home a bigger check. That way you don't actually have to apply for these high interest rate loans. Now, if you need it and it's emergency, absolutely use the money. But if you can hold on at least a pay period or two and get this form filled out, then you will have extra money. Okay, and I hope that this helps you. Let's talk about another lender. You have Rise Credit, right? And so with Rise Credit, you can see here they loan from $500 up to $5,000. So when I was explaining to you about the third-party credit bureaus and stuff, like Rise Credit, they would tell you here, not only Experian and TransUnion, but again, they're going to use like Clarity, which is owned by Experian, and Teletrack, which is owned by Equifax. Okay, so that's the reason, like, you may get turned down and you won't see the hard inquiry on your file. It's because of that information and those third party from those third party financial credit bureaus. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Another lender is Viva Payday loans. Now, again, you can see Viva Payday loans. They offer loans from $100 up to $5,000, and they give you from 2 months up to 24 months. Plus, you can see the interest rates. They have pretty fair interest rates from $5.99 up to $35.99 on an interest rate, which is about average with some of the banks and stuff like that, right? So they don't give you a whole lot of money, but the interest rates is on an average. But at the same time, when you're just looking for $1,000 or $5,000, you're not looking for a whole lot of money. But again, just remember your criteria in terms of qualifying for these loans is mostly making sure that the address on the application is matching up with the address with the credit bureaus, but also making sure that you're making at least $1,000 a month after taxes. There's one more resource. This is unclaimed.org, and I constantly tell people, go to this website, unclaimed.org, and what you want to do is just find and claim. It's a free resource from the government, and all you do is click on your state, put your name and your address, and it will tell you if there's any outstanding money or property that's owed to you that you can actually claim. Okay, so I like to try to share this with people because a lot of our community don't know about it. A lot of our community walk around and may have thousands of dollars. I have had clients that had thousands of dollars and they was able to actually get that money. They don't charge you for it. There is services out there that will charge you for the service, but this is a non-charge service. So if you have any other questions about loans, I'll put some of the links below. But if you have any other question about loans or anything like that, schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.